Where do you stand on the Hellebuyck situation?
Hellebuyck over MacKinnon. Absolutely Hellebuyck over MacKinnon.
No way.
Yes, I think if you're going to give it to the best player, you give it to Leon Draisaitl. If you're going to give it to this team might be a lot worse without this one guy, you give it to Hellebuyck. I don't know if this is good behavior. I have placed a wager on Hart.
Nathan MacKinnon?
Connor Hellebuyck?
I have placed a wager on Nathan MacKinnon.
It's just the odds are too good, right?
To win Hart. Not the odds are too good. The conversation is too stupid. Because I've seen two things in the last week come out. And yes, last week I was leaning MacKinnon.
Yeah.
But the NHL.com put out a awards tracker thing, and ESPN.com put out an awards tracker thing. And all of these people who are voting, and maybe it's the same group that's talking to two people, talking to Wish and talking to NHL.com, they are leaning so heavily into it's crazy that the Avalanche, with how things were looking at the beginning of the season, are where they are. Voters, I say, fucking get over it. Like, get the fuck over it. Your guy is not the best player this season, but what am I going to be, stupid? They're not changing their minds. They should have by now. They're not going to. What did you get? I know that we don't do huge odds talk, but what was the number involved?
450.
450?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I placed a wager on Nathan MacKinnon. I put $50 down at a 1,000.
I mean, that's crazy.
So
I'm
going to pull my hair out, not because part of it is, of course, I'm biased towards Leon Draisaitl, but I said at the beginning of the year, I don't care about any individual awards this year. I don't care if they suck in the regular season. Make everything about win the fucking Stanley Cup this year. But I get mad, Pete, you've seen this before. I get mad when everyone is wrong about a discussion. And to make myself feel better, I'm just protecting my feelings. So at least I get $500 if these idiots fuck this up.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and I think there's more of a discussion than you're.
I think it's
giving.
close. I think it's close,
right.
And Leon should obviously be leading a close one.
And the reason that I like the bet, and the reason that I made the bet myself, is like the odds should not be that far away for MacKinnon. Like they should not be that long. Yeah, I don't understand though the discourse about the team. Like, what does it really matter? Like, that's more of a credit to Colorado's front office. They've completely revamped the team over the course of the regular season. How does that reflect Nathan MacKinnon's odds? Unless you're making the case, and I think it's a strong case, if you're saying MacKinnon is always getting your number one matchups from the other side for like defensively, whereas Leon, when he's separated from McDavid, you're spending a lot of your top defensive assets to cover McDavid, and then Leon's free. I mean, I would push back against that, being still saying like, yeah, but he's still fucking lighting it up with not amazing teammates and a constant shuffle of teammates.
Yeah, and I mean, all of the analytics, one of what Wish put in there, like Leon's case, in addition to the actual numbers, is all the analytics say that he's having a better season. Like, he's leading the league in goals above expected. He's like, there's a 2-point separation right now in points. And the guy who is second leads the league in goals by so much and is second in assists. So again, not all of this is because I'm just a Leon honk. A lot of it is, I wonder, because all the quotes on this is like, man, with how this team started, it could have been a lot worse. So Nathan MacKinnon, like, I feel like people aren't actually paying attention to the seasons they're having. So I'm just protecting my feelings and trying to get $500 out of it.
Eileen said it should be Hellebuyck. Where do you stand on the Hellebuyck situation?
Hellebuyck over MacKinnon. Absolutely Hellebuyck over MacKinnon.
No way.
Yes, I think if you're going to give it to the best player, you give it to Leon Draisaitl. If you're going to give it to this team might be a lot worse without this one guy, you give it to Hellebuyck, although I don't know how bad the Jets would be with an average goaltender.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the only reason, and it's maybe unfair to Hellebuyck, but my thing against Hellebuyck has always been the team isn't bad enough to let him win MVP. Like, the Jets are still a really good team, and they play well defensively. And if your goalie's going to win Hart, I think it has to be because, or at least like historically, it's because they're saving their team almost single-handedly. Like a Dustin Wolf situation makes more sense for Hart to me than Connor Hellebuyck, even though Connor Hellebuyck, like, there's no debate, has been unbelievable and the best goaltender by far this season. It's just I can't get to Hart for Connor Hellebuyck based off of how good the team in front of him has been.
Sean, have you enjoyed any of the Hart discourse this year? Because it's mostly been me and Pete being like mad and worried.
No, I don't care about it really. It's like
No, I wouldn't say I'm mad or worried.
Well,
I'm
just
confused.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's like I don't. Whenever like it's like with every sport, like when non-quarterbacks or non-skaters or pitchers enter the MVP conversation, you're quite literally comparing. I guess not quite literally. You're comparing apples to oranges. Like it's a completely different conversation. So I don't ever really know what to make of that. As far as like the Hellebuyck of it's concerned. And then Draisaitl versus MacKinnon, like, I don't know. The two best players on the planet right now. Someone's got to win the award. I get it. But, like, I don't think you're wrong either way.
Yeah, I mean, MacKinnon with me, like, if somebody says that MacKinnon's the second best player in the league, I don't bat an eye. If they say he's the third or fourth best player in the league, I don't bat an eye. We are in very much like we are in peak MacKinnon glazing, I would say. Like sometimes I think Austin Matthews is better than Nathan MacKinnon
This year?
So yeah, no. Like I'm saying, like for the Earth, a lot of the time, I definitely think Leon Draisaitl is a better player than MacKinnon.
Yeah, I'm taking MacKinnon over Matthews almost every time.
I mean, if I'm starting a roster right now, skater wise, I'm taking Connor McDavid. Then I'm taking
right.
McKinnon.
Yeah,
I also think when you're talking about
same.
when you're talking about like the Leon, like I know your case with Leon, and like I'm not going to push back against it too hard, but like over a 3-year sample, MacKinnon is better than Leon.
Over their careers, though, Leon is better than MacKinnon.
I mean, like recently,
he is the best passer in the league, and he puts up 50-goal seasons more regularly than anybody else.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but I also think that MacKinnon's just a fucking monster, and like if. I'm not going to say one is definitely better than the other one, but they're like right in the same league. And I think over a more recent, larger sample, MacKinnon has been better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just because he was better last year. But I mean, this was like an age-old conversation we used to love having, which is who's the best player in the league is not a fun conversation because it is, we should say it's obviously McDavid, but who's the second best player in the NHL? Can be a screaming match. It can be an hour and a half at a bar talking to 10 different people.
I think it also just changes based off of like when you're having the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, McDavid is right now very much in like a Patrick Mahomes territory where he's like clearly the best player alive still, but also like not top 5 this year.
Yeah, like unless you do some super duper wild shit. But I mean, look, McDavid is still like. He missed a bunch of time this season. He's still fourth in points.
I wanted to talk about that. It's so hilarious to me how, and it's obviously just like he's the greatest player of all time, but it's like Connor McDavid's down year. It's like he would make like 80% of the league 100 times better, and in his current state, and he's just like not the best player on his team this year and having a down year by his standards.
And it's also like how much of that down year reflection is also a reflection of Leon having the best year of his career.
Yeah.
Like how much
only one person can.
How much of that now is McDavid kind of living in Leon's shadow?
Points per game played, Draisaitl 1. Nathan MacKinnon tied with him. Connor McDavid 4th. 1.41 points per game. The horror.
Yeah,
and this is like
a terrible season.
He's not going to get a single. I don't know if he'll get a single like 5th place Hart vote.
He shouldn't.
He'll get a 5th place, but like I'm saying, like he won't get any 1st place Hart votes.
Yeah, and he should.
Crazy.
We all silly like the mayor.